everyone and welcome to a brand new video, and today we are back with more Monoposto MyCareer, episode number 54, and we're here for round 6 of the F2 2023 season here in Belgium. A wonderful track. It did rain in the actual race for Formula 1, but here in F2 it's only a little bit cloudy with no chance of rain whatsoever. However, one thing that the teams know for sure is that the tyre wear is still absolutely horrendous, and they should be prepared to expect anything to happen here. And as for the tyre performance, they're still not exactly optimized for qualifying, so some drivers will get used to it, some drivers will not, and the drivers with a more aggressive driving style will really excel here in qualifying compared to the likes of Flyer, who is a more conservative driver and can manage the tyres much better than some of the others on the grid. But now, let's have a look at the qualifying results, and as you can tell, TB95, the quali merchant, is now on pole for the second time this year, and he's the first repeat pole sitter ahead of Ryden, then Piastri, then Leclerc. So it's not going to be an easy day for the Prema driver. And then a few places back, we have the championship leader, Flyer, who had a very good drive in Hungary from P13 on the grid. He managed to finish in P4 today. He will want to repeat another drive of masterful overtaking. But now, here are all the drivers sat on the grid, revving up to 5 red lights here for the Belgium Grand Prix. And we are underway here for the Belgium Grand Prix, and TB does get away well. Ryden will have to probably settle behind the Prema going into turn 1, and Piastri on board with the man down the inside at turn 1, and the Virtuosi car can already start challenging for the lead, and everyone has made it through turn 1 with no major issues here. TB will lead us through, ahead of Piastri, ahead of Ryden, Hauger, Yader, and then Snippy, who's had a great start as well. As they go through a Rouge, many drivers are using the battery, including Oscar Piastri, who will take the lead of the Grand Prix, but TB will come back at him on the straight. They've both run out of ERS, and now it's a drag race through the com, and now down to the right-hander. Piastri will use the inside line and get into the lead of the Grand Prix, but the Greek will not give up here as we're going through into Pouan. We're looking at Edgar down in P7. He's made a move on Leclerc on the medium tyre. Meanwhile, look at Dennis Hauger round the outside of everybody to take the lead of the race pretty much, wheel to wheel with the Virtuosi. Piastri will not back down, but he might have to here, as Hauger is not willing to make this overtake fail. Down the inside again, and now there is a long straight for Hauger to get the move done. He's already in the lead, but Piastri will come back at him immediately. A lot of cars are going to come back at him, as we're seeing Ryden overtake Hauger. TB also overtook Hauger, and Yader now going into the final chicane. Piastri is in the lead, and it's a 5-car battle at the end of lap 1. Looking at the rear view of Piastri, we've got 5 cars who could genuinely take the lead, and TB will be the first to give it a go. Round the outside at turn 1, they're 3 wide, and TB is nearly pushed off the track. He is off the track onto the grass there on the exit of turn 1, and the Mexican Yader will actually take advantage of that, so he will now try to run away. Hauger will move up into 2nd, and Piastri is in 3rd, Ryden 4th, and TB down into P5 after being forced off the track by Oscar Piastri. Just as when you thought when things would calm down, they are not calming down at all. Hauger will take the lead back, Piastri will take P2 back, and now Yader is under a lot of pressure here from the cars behind. Lap 3 has begun, and Hauger remains in the lead ahead of TB now, who goes through ahead of Piastri, and the 2 Premas are 1 and 2. We've got cars in the pit lane here, which may be a massive turning point at the end of the race. We'll only find out and see, but for now, TB95 is doing what he's got to do, and he is in the lead by a comfortable margin, but Yader will not give up here as he's gone straight back ahead of the Prema. Can that guy catch a break? I'm not really sure. Meanwhile, Flyer, who's been trapped in the midfield battle, just cannot seem to make the progress that he made in the Hungarian Grand Prix. And now ND is up into P7. And here we are on board with Cal Calais, who is on the soft tyre, and he actually is one of the drivers who went into the pit lane. And talking of going into the pit lane, we may see some of these guys actually go in and make a pit stop, because the tyre wear must surely be popping for every single car who stayed out, apart from maybe Arthur Leclerc, who is on the medium tyre. Are the drivers going to be willing to take a massive gamble and stay out to the end? We will find out, as TYRE will retain the lead for now, ahead of Raiden, then TB, then Piastri, and then Leclerc, who is really holding his own on the medium tyre. As you know, they are not as bad as they were a few races ago, and no one is going into the pit lane between the top 5. Everyone is going to stay out, and Raiden will take the lead going into the final lap of the race. Piastri in P2, TYRE P3, and surely the drivers will be thinking about when is the correct time to use up the whole battery and get past a bunch of cars. And Prema have decided to do that right now. TB and Hauger at the same time are using their batteries, and they're going to try and make as much progress as they can as early as possible. But Raiden also had the same idea, and he's used up his own battery to make a gap, but can he keep it? We're coming to the final corners of this race, and Raiden is really struggling on the tyres, same with Hauger and TB, but they've only got a few more corners to negotiate, and they've only got a few more corners to find out who will win the Belgian Grand Prix. There we are on board with TB. We can see Raiden is under a lot of pressure. TYRE will go through. He is now using his battery along with the DRS, and TYRE will fly through. We're going to be 3 wide going into the final corners. Raiden doesn't have anything left. Hauger will take the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. And now, through the final chicane, Dennis Hauger will take his first victory. We've got a VSC. We've got a VSC. A lot of cars are retiring. And now, Arthur Leclerc, the man on the medium tyre, will actually take the victory under the virtual safety car. He will cross the line to win the Belgian Grand Prix. And the cars who pitted on lap 2 will claim the podium and the top 5. And what a way to finally finish the Belgian Grand Prix. What a shock. And the FIA and Pirelli have a lot of explaining to do, because it was an absolute bloodbath, and that will fully change the championship race as we know it. That is the end of today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content. We're coming to the final 3 races of Formula 2. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.